Escape from Tarkov is a love-hate relationship unlike any other game I've ever played. Its balance of punishment and enjoyment is a fine line that keeps you coming back for one more raid. Every time. No matter how frustrating certain aspects of the game can be, getting that clean shot on a PMC or finishing multiple quests in one raid is a satisfying reward that acts as the contrary part of Tarkov's brutal nature. This behavior makes me come back every single wipe. For weeks I played this game, grind its quests, and clear dorms. But many times the frustration overweighs when one simple misplay can mean the end of your current gear. Especially if the raid went pretty well and you get some nice loot for a task or killed a couple of PMCs. Dying at the end can make you go nuts. And sometimes when I feel like I wasted half an hour of my time, I ask myself, why do I still play this game? But shortly after, I just get my PMC back up on his feet and queue into the next raid. But what makes us look past the frustration and still keep playing? Is it the loot? The sheer amount of customization that's available for any given weapon? Or the anticipation of what will happen in the next raid? I think everybody has different reasons for playing Tarkov, especially since it's so unique. Even within its genre, there is no game like Tarkov. For me, EFT is like a playground, a sandbox with all the military gear that you could ask for to get into authentic and immersive combat situations. With its big maps and open nature, you never truly know what to expect. Sure, there are some aspects of the game that contradict that, like the fixed spawns where everybody enters the raid at the same time, but overall, it's always scary to go around a corner. You never know who might be behind it, which can also lead to a lot of anxiety and not wanting to move. There is a solo anxiety for a reason. There's no one that has your back. In Showdown, for example, you can always play with others since it has a matchmaking feature and is actually built around it. But for Tarkov, that's a no-go. I mean, there is an LFG tool you can try, but I wouldn't recommend it unless you bring friends. This wipe has been especially fun, however, with way less frustrations than usual. I feel like every wipe I have a personal rant about the whole armor and ammo system, and how I don't particularly like it. But since they removed a lot of high-tier armor from the flea market at the end of last year, it's been much better, with Head Eyes being my best friend. I think what makes this wipe so much more enjoyable for me is because of the experience I was able to collect in the past couple of wipe cycles. This should be my fourth one now where I actually play a lot. One aspect that I recently got a grip for and understand much better now is Tarkov's combat. It might sound weird to talk about the complexity of a first-person shooter's combat, but there are some nuances that are so specific to Tarkov that you can only learn them through experience. CQC, or Close Quarters Combat, works so much different to most other shooters.
CQC, huh?
At ranges where you would probably aim down sights in most other FPS, in Tarkov you should probably still hip fire. There's no golden rule for EFT, and this was only one example of many, but watching the top streamers shows you how good you can get in this game. With Tarkov Arena right around the corner, a somewhat competitive approach might actually be possible in the future. I'm not sure of the details of how expansive Arena will be, but I'm excited and definitely looking forward to some nice gameplay. It's absolutely a great addition for everybody who wants to learn the game as well. Many problems I faced that made me hate the game at times can be learned much faster and with way less frustration in the Arena mode. I would have loved to have this when I started, but I'm just glad that we're all getting it now. I already mentioned that I rant about the whole armor and ammo system every now and then, and even though it doesn't bother me much right now, I still don't like it. On one side, I understand its appeal, and getting better gear feels rewarding, but not being able to use the MP5 or any 9mm gun at a pretty early point in the wipe can feel so limiting. As soon as someone wears reasonable armor, your only chance is the head or leg meta. But once your opponent wears a face shield, your options are cut in half. I'm still not sure how to feel about the whole situation, and I'm not out here trying to change the game, since this is Nikita's and an extension BSG's vision for Escape from Tarkov, and the majority of the player base seem to enjoy it. Getting into this game is incredibly hard. You have to learn so many new systems, let alone find your way around the maps. It's a great feeling to reach a destination by following a map that's on your second monitor to even understand where you are and where you have to go, but it's such a harsh barrier to entry like many other things in this game. But it's a part of the appeal, and once you've learned them, you'll know your way around much easier than you might think. After roughly 750 hours, I'm very happy that I bought this game. With all its ups and downs and many attempts to learn it, at the end of the day I got here and don't need a map anymore. I can hold my own against PMCs and immediately know what I have to do for certain quests, or if an item has a value. It's the experience that you gain personally which makes for the best progression in any game. With that being said, I hope you enjoyed this video and would like to see you next time. Take care.